Hey guys, I'm RNG Gamer. I play all my games randomly. I know I'm not alone. I think every gamer has experienced this where you buy a game and then after you play it, you're like, really wish I didn't buy that game. Like I wish I didn't buy it. I wish I didn't play it. I just wish I didn't waste my time. But what happens when you like put a lot of effort or a lot of money or go way out of your way to get a game and then you regret it later? Does that weigh on you even more? So let's talk about that. I have 8 games over here that I bought that I really regret purchasing. And like always, guys, if you haven't already, if you like my content, please subscribe, hit the bell notification so you get notified when new videos come out. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. Let's do this. First up, we have a game that came out for the Nintendo 3DS, and I meant to get it. I put it on my wish list, and I did not pick it up, and then it went out of print, and it became very difficult to find and very expensive, and I just like waited and waited and waited and waited. Finally, it came out on the Nintendo Switch in like an upgraded version. I put it on my wish list, and I didn't get it once again. And it went out of print and became harder and harder to find and got more and more expensive. At that point, I was like, I'm gonna bite the bullet. I paid like, I think double the retail value for this game, like on release. I think it was $40 when it came out. I think I paid like 80 bucks for it or something. And it's supposed to be a spiritual successor to a great Sega Saturn game called Guardian Heroes. And that game is Code of Princess EX. Cute girl on the front, supposed to be kind of like a mindless hack and slash, but great. Well guys, I just didn't think it was. I didn't think it was that great. It was very grindy. It had about 1 million characters and the whole game seemed to be built around just like grinding repetitively to level these characters up as much as you could. And I didn't find the gameplay to be that good or that great. And I like beat it on a couple characters and I was kind of like done with it. And for all that time I spent like searching for this game and all the missed opportunities to grab it where it just slipped through my fingers and finally having to like break down and pay really more than the game's worth to get it. Oh man, I really regret this one. This next one was on many lists of like the greatest games of all time, sometimes even at the top of the list, and it only released on PC, and I remember my friend having it when I was younger, and I just really wanted this game, and I just could not find the big box PC version on eBay, like anywhere. It would pop up and it'd be like 100 and something bucks, $200, and I wanted the one my friend had, and so finally I found what I consider to be like a good deal, $80 or something like that. And I bit the bullet and got it, and I played the game. It's a good game. I'm not saying the game's bad, I don't regret playing it. It's Planescape Torment, and this is the 1999 RPG of the Year version, which is the one my friend had. It's the one I wanted. So I went way out of my way to get this. Also, this doesn't work on modern PCs, like it will not play. I had to go to GOG.com and download like a version and pay for a version that would work on my PC. So this is really, I just paid like for the box, essentially. So why do I regret this? Well, like a year later, they re-released this game in a compilation on like the PS4 and the Switch, bundled with other games for like 30 bucks. And you can buy it like on clearance later for 15. So like if I had just been patient, and I think I total like spent over $100 on this, having to buy the digital version to actually play the game. If I had just been a little patient, I could have had it for like 30 or less. So I really regret like biting the bullet on this one and getting it. I wish I'd waited a little bit longer. So I really like the Dark Souls series, and after it came out and became very popular, it became the game. Many companies were trying to like emulate that style of gameplay. Some of them were pretty good, some of them were really terrible, but the one that a lot of people agreed was really fantastic was a game called Blasphemous. So when Limited Run Games put this game up for pre-order, and this is like in the old-timey days of Limited Run Games where they were only like, there's only 1,000 or 1,500 copies and you have to get on at 8 o'clock in the morning and buy it, and if you don't, you won't ever get it. I like set an alarm, got up, and pre-ordered this game. Only to find out that it's like a buggy mess and it's missing the patches and it doesn't have any of the DLC. So here it is. Game ballooned up to like $100. But just a couple of years later, this was released. This is the Blasphemous Deluxe Edition, not from Limited Run Games. It has the DLC, it has all the patches on disc. This is the definitive version. If I had just waited like a couple of years, and like I said, I play everything randomly, so I haven't even played Blasphemous yet. So I just bought this version for no reason. It just sits on the shelf, and we have this version here that's also sealed. This is the one I'm gonna play. This is nothing but shelf candy, and it's like the inferior version that I went out of my way to get. Once again, FOMO, Limited Run Games tricked me into thinking like I had to have this right away when later on something better comes along. This seems to like be a recurring theme with collecting, but I regret getting this. I wish I had just waited and been patient and learned my lesson from other experiences and gotten this version. This one is one of the wallet buster games on the original Nintendo, and I only really ever hear people mention it kind of like this. They say, oh, well, if you like the series that it spins off from, it's pretty good. It's really interesting that it's on the Nintendo and it's very expensive, but they never talk about how it means anything to them or how it's great. So I'm not a huge fan of the series. I mean, I like the series, but I'm not like a giant fanboy of it or anything. When I saw this at a convention at like a reasonable price, and this game goes for about like $300. I saw it for like 250-ish bucks. I jumped on it. It's Mighty Final Fight on the NES, and I have not played this. I still haven't played it. I don't think the Final Fight series is that great. I think it's decent. I think it's fun for a beat 'em up, but it gets really boring. And everybody's like, the claim to fame with this one is that they just put it on the NES. That's it. Like, a game is on the NES. And there are a lot of expensive NES games like that. It's like the worst version of another game, but it just released late on the NES, so it's really expensive. So there you go, Mighty Final Fight. Paid like 250 bucks for this, and I did a video not that long ago where you guys picked the rare game that I've never played before, and I put up, I think, 8 games for you guys to select. This was one of them. Not a single person voted for this. Not one person out there had enough nostalgia or desire to see me play this to even select it. It was the only game that got no votes. So it does not make me feel very good that I paid like 250 bucks for this and like nobody even cares enough for me to play it. So I kind of regret getting this one. I'm excited that it's like a rare-ish kind of expensive game on the NES, but like, I'm not really going for a complete NES set. I know I'll never be able to get stadium events, so like, I just try to get close, but I basically just bought this because it was like a sought after game, and I kind of regret it. And I really do regret it. This next game is like a sequel to a game, and I owned the first game when this sequel was announced, and I made sure to get online and pre-order the collector's edition of this because the first game was so like well reviewed and beloved by everybody. I knew it was going to sell out right away, and it did. It did. The game sold out right away. After I pre-ordered the game, the first game in the series, which I already owned, like I said, was selected for me to play randomly, and I played it and I did not like it. I put like 30 hours into it. It was on the 3DS, and it was called Bravely Default. And the game I regret buying is Bravely Second. It's in a beautiful collector's edition. Here it is. I did not like Bravely Default. I thought the RPG combat mechanics were fine. Like, it had a neat little spin, or a twist on it, if you will. It was decent, but I hated the characters, all of them. Like, they were either too whiny or too annoying, or they didn't say enough. I didn't like the chibi look of the game, and I thought really the whole plot was just kind of like banal and commonplace and just, you know, like nothing I hadn't seen a million times. So I was kind of like regretting when this came in. It came in and it was selected for me to play as well. And sadly, it was just more of the same. Like, I didn't like the characters, I didn't like the story, I thought the combat was fine, but it was not enough to like entice me to play all the way through this RPG. So I really regret buying Bravely Second, and I mean, it looks nice on the shelf, but I did not like this game, guys. I really regret buying this. This game I played on an emulator many years ago, and it's like a legendary game on the Atari 2600. Notorious, not legendary, notorious, there we go. And I had never seen it, and I know people that like have sought it out. Like Billy from the Game Chasers mentioned that he had been looking for this for a long time and wanted to buy this copy from me when I found it at a convention. I bought this and it was like a good deal. Like, I think I paid like about 90 for it, which is pretty good for what it goes for. But this game is like vulgar and very offensive, and the subject matter deals with like sexual assault in like a comical way, and it's like off-putting. I wish I hadn't bought this game. I feel like sleazy owning it. And really the only reason I bought it was because like it was a rare game. It's not fun, it's not good, and it's offensive. It's Custers Revenge. And I have to cover up Custer down there in the bottom because it's got his bare butt on the screen. But a very offensive game, very offensive. Like, I can't believe that this ever got made. It would never fly today. Like the studio that made this, they made it today, they would all get canceled permanently. And rightly so, well deservedly. So I feel like sleazy for having this, and I really regret buying it, and I really regret spending like 90 something bucks on it. But it's in the backlog. I guess I'll play it and do a review of it eventually when it comes on here on the channel, but like, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm dreading it. I really am. Really regret this one. Probably regret this one the most of all of these. I mentioned these games. This is a little bit of a cheat. This is actually 3 games or 12 games and like a compilation pack. Mention it in every video. I was looking forward to these games coming out, and they came out about 6 months apart. I pre-ordered the first one, I pre-ordered the second one, then I pre-ordered the third one, and it came with a collector's case to house all 3 games. And it's the Psycho Shooting Library Collection. And it comes in this huge box that I can't display on the shelf for various reasons. Purchased this, I think Volume 1 was like 40 bucks plus $8 shipping. Volume 2 was 40 bucks plus $8 shipping, and Volume 3 was like $60 plus like $40 shipping. So I'm like 180 bucks or almost $200 into this. And I pre-ordered them all before any of them arrived at my house. So I get the first one, start playing it, and and these are on the Switch, by the way, guys. They're a mess. They are so input laggy, you can't even really play the games. You can't even do it. So I played several of the games on the first volume, didn't really bother much with the second, never even opened the third volume. They announced that they were releasing the games again, this time in a 2-pack called Shooting Stars Alpha and Bravo. I purchased them. They're just the same game repackaged onto 2 carts as opposed to the 3 that are in here. Paid like 50 bucks a piece for those. I ended up selling those. But then the game was re-released again on the PS4, which I bought again. That's a total of 7 games I purchased to be able to play these. And I have to say, the PS4 versions are the way to play it. They're not perfect, but they're a lot better than the Switch versions. So I regret getting this and even putting the time into it to try to play them, because it is so freaking laggy. It is unplayable. Unplayable. But there it is. People love this box. Many people wanted to buy it from me. But it's just like a token to remember my bad decisions. Once again, just be patient. Find out if the game's good first before you like dive all in and go all out, pre-ordering all this crap, and then it like doesn't work. I regret this. I actually regret buying this. Ugh. All right, guys, we're down to the last game. This is a compilation of a set of Sega Saturn games, and my buddy that I know in real life owned these on the Sega Saturn, and they were a lot of fun. I played them at his house, and it came around to the point where he needed to sell them, and they're very pricey. He was gonna make me a killer deal on it, and I passed because I knew this compilation was coming out on the PS4, and it's the Cotton, Boomerang and Cotton 2 and Guardian Force Saturn Tribute Collection, done by City Connection right there. I passed on the deal he gave me because I knew this was coming out for like $40 or $50 or whatever it was. And guys, this is the worst port I have ever seen of any game. I have played all of these, but I played all the way through Cotton 2. It has like 10 to 12 frames of input delay. It feels like the game is running at like 10 frames a second and in slow motion. I mean, you pretend this is your character. You click left and it's like, click left, shoot, boo. Like you can barely play it. You can barely play it. This is miserable. And they said they were gonna patch it. But I don't care about the patch. I want them to patch it so I can play it, but like, when the servers go down, this is gonna be useless. Like 20 years in the future, when you go to pop this in, like, if you can't download the patch, what good is that gonna do you? I'm really upset. And of course, he sold those games to somebody else. They got the super deal. I'm bummed about this one. I like the Cotton series, and I really wanted these so badly. I regret even knowing this existed because I could have gotten the real thing, guys. Well, guys, there are 8 games that I really regret buying, like really regret. If you have any games you regret buying, put it down in the comments. And if you liked the video, of course, once again, like, subscribe, comment. I love the comments. I answer like every one of them. New videos every Saturday like this. And on Wednesday, I've been doing gameplay videos. I've done one, but I'm gonna keep doing them every Wednesday. If you have any questions you wanna ask me about your life or advice or anything, leave them in the comments and let me know you want them answered on the Wednesday gameplay video, and I'll answer them for you. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. I appreciate everything you do for me. We may hit 1,000 subscribers by the time this video goes live. I hope we do. It's gonna be very close. But thanks so much, guys, and I'll catch you next time.